Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Unitas Caritas UCTV. Thank you once again for joining us here in the spring season. We are here with the first game of the season live. We have Immaculata Boys Lacrosse going against DelVal. DelVal on the season currently is 2-0 in the season. Good start for them. Head coach for today's contest is Andrew Niebuhr for Delaware Valley. And for your Immaculata boys, they are 2-2 on the season, 1-0 in the Skyline Valley Conference, led by head coach David Hobson. We're just about ready to go here, and we are live for the start of the spring season on UCTV, presented by Unitas Caritas. Immaculata controls the opening possession, and they are now on the offensive. Controlling the ball outside in the back. Immaculata setting up their defense so far. We have a starting graphic we'll pull up for you momentarily during one of the game stoppages. It's Immaculata swinging around the back of the net. That's number 4, Nolan Smith, taking around for Immaculata. Immaculata's just been circulating around the net so far, looking for a opportunity and position to come in and strike. And up top right now, number 15, Tyler Pollock, is driving in. Sends it back to the backside to Owen Sanford. And not too much to come of it for Immaculata so far. Driving in, Immaculata gets in a shot, and that one is sent out wide. First shot taken for Immaculata there by the senior Ryan Prisco. And it looks like Immaculata's going to retain possession, being closest to the wall. Number 1, Owen Sanford, sophomore for Immaculata, 5'10", 165 attacker. He's on the ball for the recovery there. And a familiar face, we see number 39, Cole Hayden, the senior. We've heard his name quite a few times here on UCTV. One of those captains on the team will be playing collegiately for University of Richmond. So, see if we could take a quick look. Well, we'll bring up the starting lineup momentarily. But Immaculata having some good ground control so far. DelVal is yet to possess once again. Immaculata has gotten off a good shot so far. Nothing too much to come of it just yet. Number 13, Ryan Prisco, takes it around once again, sends it back up top to 15, Tyler Pollock. Immaculata driving in down the left side, tries to find a shot in the middle. Immaculata right in front, off the top of the net, nothing to come of it. And DelVal on the recovery, and we have a flag on the field. Now is a decent time to see if we could take a quick look at our starting lineup. We've called out a good few of them already so far. Looks like Immaculata is still going to retain possession here. And we're back in play once again. Immaculata, good shot inside. And that is the first goal of the lacrosse season here on UCTV, scored by the sophomore, number 1, Owen Sanford. Immaculata now leads 1-0 here in the first quarter. 9 minutes and 29 seconds left to go. Now's a good time to look at the starting lineup. We've finally got the graphic up. Starting lineup for today, got Nolan Smith and Ryan Prisco and Owen Sanford at the attack. Cole Hayden, Riley Rohrbach, Quinn Hayden at the midfield. Braden Burnaz, Joe Amably, and Alex Kozrabiz at defender. And in net for the Spartans today, Kyle Holpe. Immaculata off to a great start this game, starting with a goal, and have pretty much had possession the entirety of the contest so far. Immaculata is ripping it around the backside of the net, looking for something to go on. Rotating around right there. Little contest there by DelVal. Not recovered by DelVal. Good defense there by Terry Nee of DelVal, number 13. Immaculata threatening once again, right around the goalie crease. Sanford swings it on over to Smith. Smith dives in. Just misses that one. Immaculata recovers once again. Sent into Cole. Cole fires that one wide right. And Immaculata still keeping possession as Nolan Smith was closest to the ball in the out of bounds there. Sanford being challenged behind the net. Good stop in. And a good play there. Good shot in. That was the goal by Tyler Pollock. 2-0 Spartans. We promise you folks we'll get our instant replay back soon enough. As we figure out the mechanics of a brave new world, a new season. We have this season coming up. As you see on our Instagram, we got boys lacrosse, girls lacrosse, softball, and baseball coming up for the season. We're very much excited to be able to do that for you folks. We very much appreciate your work and your effort in watching us here at today's contest. So far for Immaculata, they are up 2-0, 8 minutes and 13 seconds left to go in the first period. And we have a brief timeout, both benches meeting with each other to discuss over some game plans. So now is another good time to give a shout out to some of the events that will be going on here at UCTV. So today we have the boys lacrosse game that we have going on right now. And then coming up tomorrow, we will be live streaming once again, but not for something that you think, for the Immaculata High School 2025 Hall of Fame. That is Thursday, April 10th at 6 p.m. So just about 26 hours here from now, we will be live streaming on www.spartanlivestream.com at the Immaculata Hall of Fame dinner. Basically how that's going to go is we are going to be there for the cocktail hour. My very own Patrick Frauenheim and I. Patrick is back. We welcome him. We're going to be conducting some interviews of former Hall of Fame members from Immaculata High School, reaching out, hearing some of their stories, and just being prepared for the new Hall of Fame inductees, which you can catch all that information on the Immaculata High School website, and you will be seeing during the duration of the event. So we're very excited to bring you that, and we very much look forward to having you all tune in and watch live as we learn about some of the rich history of Immaculata and everything that it means to everyone else. So to bring you back to some game action here, DelVal quickly on the attack, and a quick score there for DelVal. It's going to make it 2-1, 7 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the first period. First offensive possession for DelVal reigns supreme as they're able to get back in action and put that one straight through the back of the net. So it seems like the timeout for DelVal was very well orchestrated. Ran a good offensive play and got that one in just fine. And we're going to bring you back to midfield once again as we're going to have another face-off. Up there for the face-off for DelVal, we have number 9, Brandon Sozansky. As we wait away. And Immaculata comes up successful. Oh, might have spoke too soon. Ball is loose over at midfield. That one's going to go out of bounds. Referees have decided that Immaculata's take care of it. On the face-off for the Spartans is number 31, Riley Rohrbach. Polak taking it around for the Spartans, working up the right side. Drives into the lane. He's going to take it himself, and he puts that one in. Another goal for the Spartans. Tyler Polak does it all there. Shifts inside, shoots a little 5-hole right through the goalie there on DelVal. So nice one there. 3-1 Spartans, 7 minutes and 5 seconds in the first period. As we get ready to go out once again here at the face-off. Referee's adjusting it. And we're off once again. That one squirts out, and that one is taken. DelVal can't complete it yet. Ball still on the floor. And it's coming out this way. That one's saved. Picked up by DelVal. Ball on the floor once again. Can't seem to come to a complete possession just yet. And DelVal finally takes it. Immaculata playing a staunch defense to keep them back, and DelVal finally clears it across the field. Ball is loose. And Immaculata picks it up. Quick turnover of possession, and the Spartans are taking down their left sideline. Immaculata finally has some space over the middle of the field. Running it up there is Connor Stevens, also a familiar name to you UCTV listeners. Back over to Sanford. And up top to Cole Hayden. Cole Hayden working the top, trying to get a little pick, little basketball pick and roll style. Nothing to come of that. He runs back out to about midfield range. Driving up the left side. Cuts over to the middle, looks around, passes it back out. Bad reception on the pass. Ball's on the floor once again. And Immaculata's going to keep it. Taking it down the right side. Looking across, sends it back over into the backside to Smith. Smith runs up the right side, throws it right over top. And Immaculata's going to get it done once again. Owen Sanford, the pair of goals this game as Immaculata makes it 4-1 with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left to go here in the first period. You know, not that there's any lacrosse aficionados here in the booth, I must say, but it doesn't take an expert to know that Immaculata has been dominating both the ground control and time of possession so far, as is evidenced by the score, but also by the amount of time that they've had opportunistic shots and the amount of completed passes. But nonetheless, we're going to go back up at midfield once again for the tip-off, and just about ready to get here once again. They're fighting for it, and picked up there by the Spartans. Good job by Rohrbach. And Immaculata on the offensive once again. Stevens taking it up. Sends it over to Smith. Smith in the backside. Kicks it up top to Hayden. Back across. Full swing around. Nobody home. And DelVal is going to have possession here. DelVal did quite well on their first offensive set, so we've yet to see some true offensive possessions from DelVal so far, so we'll see what they can do as they get into Spartans territory for only the second time so far in this contest. Running across the middle, pass a little bit too high, and it's picked up by the Spartans. Ball's on the floor once again. Rolling around. DelVal seems to have completed control, and they're going to swing this one around. DelVal's going to set it up. They're going to settle, pace their offense a little. Send it over into the backside, run it around. And nothing there so far. They're going to look once again. Going to go wide right to the backside, being defended. Sent across. Nothing to come of it for DelVal so far. Good defense by the Spartans. And the ball is going out towards the back, but it is picked up by Kyle Holpe, number 22. Immaculata now on possession. Coming up the right side. Getting just across midfield now. And Immaculata has an offensive possession once again. Streaking up the right side. Sends across the middle. Nothing so far for Immaculata. Sends it behind net to Smith once again. Over to Sanford. Sanford sends it up top. And they're just going to keep rolling it around. Looks like DelVal is playing a very tight-knit defense around the goalie crease, tight to the net. Playing a little bit off some of the main attackers, letting them come to them rather than going out to attack them. And that usually could be a result of the attackers just significantly having better foot speed and agility than the defenders. Hasn't proved quite as successful so far for DelVal as Spartans hold a 4-1 lead in this first period. But Immaculata has not seen anything come up of this offensive possession just yet. Immaculata going up the middle once again. They're going to try it. Lots of circling around. And a shot is fired high there by Cole Hayden. But nonetheless, Immaculata's going to have the opportunity to hold possession once again. 1 minute and 53 seconds left to go in this first period. Sanford working around. Over to Hayden. Looking around. And just for reference, folks, 38 is Quinn Hayden, the sophomore, and 39 is Cole Hayden, the senior. So, speaking of which, probably the most used name on this broadcast by far amounts. Cole Hayden knocks that one in for the Spartans. Makes it 5-1 here. 1 minute and 22 seconds left to go in the first period. We're going to try our hand at the instant replay button. Probably a tad too late, so you could just watch Hayden's teammates dap him up once again on that shot there. Good showing for the Spartans so far. Taking a good 5-1 lead. And we're going to get ready for the face-off once again. DelVal now taking the offensive, going straight up the middle. Stick lost on the ground by DelVal. And we're going to have an official's timeout. 1 minute and 11 seconds left officially. We're going to reset, and Immaculata now in the possession. We're going to have another official stoppage. Ball going to be on the 45-yard line. Looks like we're going to have a Spartan timeout here. We'll be back with you momentarily here on UCTV, presented by Unitas Caritas. Welcome back to UCTV, presented by Unitas Caritas. We are back live here in the booth, and I have a special guest with me. Look who's back, folks.
Hello, friends. That is a Jim Nance reference. It's Masters Week, but more importantly, the Immaculata Lacrosse team is up 5-1 right now. And as you see on our screen, the top scroll bar is a beautiful overlay that Mr. Rob Helwig got that you see at the top of your screen. And yes, that is me controlling it. And yes, it is pretty difficult because it's all on my phone. There's a ton of buttons, but me not being in the booth today, that's my reasoning. Jake's doing well right now, so see you guys shortly.
Well, we thank Pat for all of his efforts in working the new scoreboard we have for the season. We hope you appreciate it. We think it's a very good addition to the stream, no doubt about that. So, not only will it be easier for your replay viewing purposes, but it also is just aesthetically more pleasing. Because, you know, the name of the game here at UCTV is just improvements and enhancements. And that is all done by you folks. And we appreciate your support. We appreciate your donations and everything else in between. So we have about 15 seconds left here in the first period. Immaculata's obviously going to want to try to tack on one more. So we'll see what they could draw up here. We're down to a few seconds left. 4, 3, ball's on the ground. Looks like nothing's going to come of it. And that's it. End of the first period. We have Immaculata 5, DelVal 1. So we were just speaking about the Unitas Caritas Foundation. So what better time than to give them a little shout. Unitas Caritas Foundation, preserving the proud Spartan tradition. For those of you tuning in for the first time, you're going to hear this spiel, but for those of you who have been tuning in for football since football season, I apologize, but yes, you will be hearing this. Unitas Caritas was founded in 2018 by a group of alumni that were dedicated to preserving the proud Spartan tradition. Basically, what the UC Foundation does is they help with capital improvements of the school. They do scholarship opportunities for the students and help with other various alumni events and things that involve being an Immaculata Spartan. Now, another branch of the Unitas Caritas Foundation that has been founded recently, as recently as this fall, was the UCTV, which we help provide all the sport and athletic broadcasts to you folks at home, and also other various events such as the Hall of Fame dinner, which we'll be doing tomorrow, as we previously have mentioned. So, as much as we appreciate your support, your viewership, and all your kind words that you send to Pat, Rob, and I, and everyone else that works with us, we also sincerely appreciate any monetary donations that you can make for us as well. So, if you'd like to contribute and help continue the mission that we're going on, please visit us at www.unitascaritas.com. Click and select the featured link, Join the Club. All it takes is a one-time monthly donation of $19.66 to help keep the Spartan tradition alive, or a one-time donation is equally as applicable to you, if so be it. And now we are going to take you back down to the field for the start of the second period. Spartans lead 5-1 against DelVal. Spartans have shown staunch aggression on the defensive side and very collaborative offensive, keeping the time of possession well in their favor, the shot count, and as you can see on the scoreboard done by our very own Patrick, the score as well. So we're just a few moments away from the start of the second period, and we're off once again. And DelVal is going to take control on this one. And just a note to the folks at home, they do switch sides. There's a flag on the field by the referee, so we'll listen in, see what's going on. We're getting set up once again. DelVal is going to possess out over by their bench. And we're off once again. DelVal working it around the top so far. In the middle. There's been no pressure from the Spartan defense so far, and no attack by DelVal. Just kind of feeling it out right now. Kind of like the first round of a boxing match. And DelVal looks like they're going to swing that one around to the backside. They have not made a advancement or progression to the net just yet, but they've rolled that one around to the backside. DelVal just swinging around the top of the key so far. DelVal looks try to make a little bit of attack. Good defense by the Spartans, keep him out behind the 25-yard line. DelVal taking up the right side, now to the back. DelVal swings it back over to the back. Tries to throw that one inside. That one's close in front of the goal. And Immaculata. Good defensive stand there by Immaculata. And Holtby sends that one down. And Spartans have running room down the field across the 30. And Immaculata now on the offensive. A little bit of a shift change. A couple new players come in for the Spartans. And it is operated up top, right around 40-yard line. Immaculata swings it around the back once again. Up top to Hayden. Over to Sanford and Smith. Sanford and Smith are numbers 1 and number 4, respectively. They anchor that backside behind the net. As Smith is right there. Immaculata going to try to tack in through the middle. You're going to send it back out. Nothing to come of it. Quick throw from Hayden over to Smith. Back on to Sanford, Smith. A little bit of roll around. Very cautious offensive possessions for both teams so far. It's proven worthy for the Spartans. Immaculata. Hayden finally finds some space to drive in, throws it in to Sanford, and Sanford scores. A very, very, very cautious offensive possession for Immaculata reigns supreme as Hayden drives in the middle. Sanford cuts in through a little space in front of the net and is able to deliver that one into the back of the net off the ground. That is going to make your lead 6-1 Immaculata. 8 minutes and 16 seconds left to go here in the second period. As we're going to get ready for the face-off once again. No clear possession just yet. That one spits out to DelVal. DelVal is on the offensive. DelVal falls right around midfield, and Immaculata is going to quickly pick that one up. Good pick up there by Stevens. And Hayden had a little bit of running room on the left side. That one was just tossed a little bit over his head, and DelVal is going to hold possession here on this one. DelVal sends that one into midfield. That ball's loose. Quickly picked up by the Spartans. Thrown in across to Sanford. Right across to Smith. And he scores once again. That duo of Sanford to Nolan Smith has been electric for the Spartans so far. 7-1. 7 minutes and 24 seconds left to go here in the second period. We're getting ready for the tip-off once again here. And they're going to award that one to DelVal. DelVal now on the offensive once again. Game spread's getting a little wide here, so DelVal obviously is going to want to look to score in this possession. A lot of good communication from the Spartans. They are loud and directive on defense. So DelVal running around the back, going pretty solo. Good knockout there, and it's picked up by Holpe. And Holpe gets it shoved out of his hand. He's out of net. Sent across to DelVal. Can't complete the catch. Holpe out of net once again. Gets back in. Good shot. Blocked by Holpe. And the Spartan bench comes down with a rain of applause. Quality possession there as the Spartans take over. Holpe out of net. Getting one-on-ones. And they finally get that one away. Immaculata holds full control now in the offensive possession. A little bit of scariness for the Spartans there as Holpe got well outside the net and DelVal had an ample opportunity to score. They just wouldn't be able to catch it. And a quick shift on over. DelVal in a good attacking phase, wide open. Sends it across, and that one's good. DelVal gets their second score of the game there by number 31, Cole Fritzsche, the sophomore. Seemed like Immaculata was a little bit out of position on that one and was able to get the easy score. 7-2, Immaculata leads, 5 minutes and 46 seconds left to go here in the second period. Also, it's worth mentioning, folks, that this is the first broadcast at the newly renovated Immaculata Spartans field, otherwise known as Theo Riddick Field, home to most of the boys and girls lacrosse games. When Patrick and I attended here back in 2019, it was an all-green field, and within the last few years, as part of the capital improvements of the school, have built this beautiful navy and gray turf. And quite frankly, for me, it's one of the first times I've ever been out here, and it is very much a fantastic place to be here at Immaculata. So, always great to be back, and always great to be a part of the advancements of the place you once were. But nevertheless, speaking of Immaculata, they are on the offensive possession here. Sanford holding. Back up top to mid. Sends it across to Hayden. Hayden fires a dart in the top right of the shot and knocks that one in. Cole Hayden keeps the scoring train going for the Spartans. 8-2, 4 minutes and 51 seconds left to go here in the second period. And referees make the call. DelVal wins that one. And they're going to take on the offensive here, taking it down the right side, right around the 35-yard line, is possessed. Throws it across up to midfield. DelVal surveying, not too many opportunities that they've had to score, but they have been somewhat efficient in getting so. And another fantastic block by Holpe. That one shoots way out to the 25-yard line, and Immaculata takes on a quick offensive possession, moving across the other side of the field, getting across the 40. Sends that over to Hayden. Hayden's going to circle across the middle of the field. A running Spartan. And knocks that one in. Once again, we'll take a look at that. That was number 15, Tyler Pollock. Hayden with a beautiful cross pass. Sends that one right in back net. 9-2, Immaculata leads. 3 minutes and 42 seconds left to go in the second period. Still a scuffle right around midfield for the ball. That one rolls all the way into Spartans territory, still on the ground. There's not been clear possession just yet. It looks like it was picked up by Immaculata. Sanford was able to pick that up. He got a shot in the back from a defenseman pole, but he was able to hold possession, so good play there by him. Hayden. Pass not picked up by Pollock. Looks like there was a penalty called there on DelVal, so Immaculata will hold possession. And we're back into game action. Hayden sends it over to Sanford. Back to Hayden. Hayden to Hayden. Have we seen that? Have we heard that a few times? Cole over to Quinn. Back down to Sanford. The Hayden's controlling the top so far. Hayden direct to Sanford, and he knocks that one in. A little low ball shot there by Owen Sanford. Another fantastic shot there, wide left of the net for Owen Sanford. 10-2, Immaculata leads. 2 minutes and 31 seconds left to go here in the second period. DelVal now taking up the offensive. DelVal's possessing right around the 20-yard line. They have about 90 seconds to get a couple scores in, see if they can shorten the gap. Good defense being played there by the defenseman for the Spartans. DelVal still trying to find an angle of attack. DelVal crosses the 20, throws it into the backside. We're down under a minute left to play in the second quarter. DelVal's going to have to look to attack soon at some point. We got 45 seconds. DelVal driving in, tries to shoot that one over the middle. Ball's loose on the ground. But it's still recovered by DelVal behind the back of the net. Under 30 seconds left to play. Immaculata playing a little bit more aggressive defense all the way out by the 40-yard line. And a great knockover by Hayden. Plays some aggressive defense and takes it over. Hits a spin move coming across the middle of the field. Sends that one in. And that one's just missed there by Nolan Smith. Great sequence of events there for the Spartans. Just could not turn it over with a goal. Couple seconds left. Goalie fires it across the field and nothing to come of it. It's definitely the highlight of the game. That was not a goal. Hayden with an aggressive launch of a DelVal player. Took it over, hit a nice spin move, and almost had a nice pass in and just missed that. 10-2 here is our final. So, excuse me, final of the first half. It is the end of the first half. It is 10-2. Looks like we may have an interview coming up, so we'll have to check on that. So, yeah, looks like we may be grabbing Coach Hobson for a moment or two. So we'll either get him at halftime or at full time. But in the meantime, we appreciate you for tuning in to UCTV. So we actually will be getting a view. So we'll take that over to you momentarily with Coach Hobson.
Coach, right now at halftime, stifling session. What was the keys to the guys to come out and found that great performance in the first half?
I think Riley roared back Sunday night. Defensively came out with physical lacrosse here on defense. Offensively, we just told them to slow it down, be patient, share the ball. It'll come back to you. You'll get yours later on.
Thanks for the time, Coach. Best of luck in the second half. Thank you.
And we thank our very own Patrick Frauenheim for that, meeting up with the coaches of Immaculata at halftime. It is 10-2 here at the end of the first half. We have about 8 minutes till the start of the second half, so we'll be back with you momentarily here on UCTV, presented by Unitas Caritas. Welcome back to UCTV, presented by Unitas Caritas. We're here live at Theoretic Field at Immaculata High School, getting ready for the start of the second half. Your Spartans lead 10-2 over DelVal, and we are just underway for the second half. Ball is still not under control at midfield, and Immaculata picks that one up. Hayden on the recovery. Sends that one over to Hayden. Immaculata on the offensive possession, coming down. We had a quick interview with our very own Patrick Frauenheim and Coach Hobson at halftime. You know, the audio was a little bit scratchy for the first half, but basically they were just discussing, discussing some of the things about how Immaculata has fared in the first half, how they played some quality defense and had a good scoring offensive output, and just being able to transition that and keep hold of that in the second half. So Immaculata's gone off to a good start so far, possessing the opening possession of the second half. And as any team would like to do, they got to look to score in this possession. So Immaculata's just playing a little bit of a ring around the rosy so far behind net. And it looks like they're trying to get involved, a couple guys in the middle, see if they can find them in on an open lane to shoot. But nothing so far. As DelVal playing very, very centric within their own, playing very much within kind of the 30-yard line range from mid and kind of right around inside the hashes on the sides. But Immaculata is inching closer, gets a little screen from Hayden. Behind the back pass from Hayden, quick on over to Palak, and he just misses that one. And DelVal can't complete the possession. That one's on the floor. Picked up by Smith. Smith goes to the ground with the ball, passes it out to Hayden. Hayden keeps it going on the right side. And that one's going to go on over to DelVal. Ball's in the middle for DelVal. DelVal crosses midfield across the Spartan bench with the ball. And we have a official's whistle. We'll wait and see what exactly they have with that. Looks like just a quick reset. DelVal retaining possession outside in the corner. Immaculata playing a little bit more up on the D. And Immaculata gets the turnover, and they're going to hold on to the possession now. Looks like both these defenses are playing a bit more aggressive than they were in the first half. Obviously, you know, as time continues to go, there's a bit more urgency for DelVal to make things happen. And obviously for Immaculata, it's just about controlling the pace of the game, playing their game, and continuing what's going on. So I would expect to see Immaculata just keep playing their game on the offensive side, being very, very, very conservative, and then being aggressive on defense. As Hayden fires that one into the ground and knocks that one in through the back of the net. Cole Hayden with another score on the day. That brings the total up to 11-2 for the Spartans. 8 minutes and 15 seconds left to go. DelVal controls that possession. And they're getting over midfield along the left side of the field. Immaculata definitely playing way more of an aggressive defense than before. They're not really going to let DelVal get any opportunities, and looks like they have faith in their defensemen not to be outpaced by the attackers from DelVal. As they try to fire that one into the middle, that one's going to roll out of bounds. And although DelVal was closer, it was last out on them, so Immaculata will take over possession. Holpe with a nice little pass up midfield. And Polak is running it right across the middle, sends that one over into Nolan Smith, and Smith jams that one in through the back of the net, gives the Spartans a commanding 12-2 lead here at Theo Riddick Field. 7 minutes and 19 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. We've said it a few times before already, but it seems like Immaculata has come out with even more of an authority in this half rather than the first half. And I had mentioned before that it seems like their offense was playing a bit conservative, but they're getting ample opportunities to get within the middle and have been very effective on their shot taking so far. There have not been a lot of missed shots by the Spartans, and they have utilized in more than half their goals the grounds to skip it through the goalie rather than try and take a top shelf or anywhere around. So it'll be interesting to see throughout the course of the season how Immaculata continues to delegate their scoring practices. As Immaculata controls on the offensive once again. Hayden up top to Polak. Polak looked to drive in, sends it back on over. That one goes long, out by the back of the fence. Immaculata holds Sanford with the ball back behind the net. Runs it back on over to even level. Try to look for the middle, nothing there. Kicks it on over to Hayden. Over to Prisco, number 13. Hayden underhand fires once again. Cole Hayden showing his prowess. Nothing unfamiliar from Cole Hayden, as you know, he's really taken on sort of stardom in the Spartan athletic world. But ironically enough, being that he is collegiately committed to play lacrosse in college, you can argue to say that this, of his own accord, is his best sport. So very interesting to see that young man play in different capacities over here at Spartan Athletics. But nonetheless, he extends his Spartan team lead to 13-2. 6 minutes and 7 seconds left to go in the third quarter. As we get ready for the face-off once again. That one's rolling around in Spartan territory. It was picked up by the Spartans, but they were too far out of line. Referees make the call, and that makes it a DelVal offensive possession. And now they're going to run it once again, coming up the left side. About more than halfway through this third quarter, DelVal has yet to even get a shot attempted off and have given up 4 goals in the second half. So they're really going to have to make something going to, even make this game close. And that's a good start. Once again, the announcer, Jinx, comes in just in time as DelVal. 5 holes. Kyle Holpian net there for the Spartans. That was scored there by number 31, Cole Frichet, the sophomore for DelVal. Now only a 10-point lead for the Spartans, 10-goal lead for the Spartans. 5 minutes and 22 seconds left to play in the third quarter. And Immaculata picks that one up, and they are on the offensive. Cole out in the backside of the goal now, sends that over to the side, over to Sanford. Hayden and Sanford patrolling the back of the net. Sends that one into Pollock, just couldn't get that. Looks like they called a penalty on DelVal, white 9, for a hold. All right, ball's live once again. Immaculata working the offensive. Sending it around. Hayden kicks that into Pollock. Pollock sends that left. Immaculata will hold possession here. It's number 13, Ryan Prisco, bringing in the ball. Sends it over to Hayden at the top. Low ball shot, deflected, still knocks that one in. Looks like that was number 4, Nolan Smith on the shot. We'll take a look at that one once again. That looked like it hit a couple defenders on the way and then quite literally rolled at the stick of the DelVal goalie and found its way into the top corner, top portion of the net. Immaculata extends their goal lead back to 11, 14-3 with 4 minutes and 6 seconds left to go in the third quarter. So we're up here for the face-off once again. It's deep out into DelVal territory. Immaculata's going to hold on. Immaculata on the offensive once again. Just a dominating performance for them so far. There's no doubt about that one. Another interesting point to make for some of the less avid lacrosse folks. Number 38, Quinn Hayden over there. He delegates between the position of middle and long stick middle. So you've noticed him have both a short and a long stick at different intervals of the game when he's checked in and out. So that's just one of the components of lacrosse, is being able to have the ability to kind of switch sticks in that regard. So DelVal has a decent chance at a shot here. That one is sailed wide left for DelVal. Cole Fritz on the shot just misses that one. But DelVal was close, so they're going to keep over possession once again. Immaculata playing defense way outside the hashes. Very, very aggressive defense, running with him the whole way. DelVal getting pretty stifled on trying to get close to the net. A lot of good defense by the defenseman for the Spartans so far. As that's a low shot that gets blocked by Holpe and knocked off the right side of the net. DelVal's going to hold the possession. They're going to keep going from the top of the key once again. DelVal circles it around to the left side. They're going to finally try and attack from the inside. They get stifled there by the Spartans, and the Spartans almost had a quick turnaround, but Quinn Hayden couldn't just hold the shot from Holpe. Now DelVal is going to be in the offensive possession once again. 1 minute and 45 seconds left to go in the third quarter. DelVal goes down the right side. Good defense there by the Spartans. Spartans pick it up, coming up the left side. Sends that back over to Kyle Holpe. And Holpe's going to send that on over to one of his defensemen. Immaculata crossing midfield with the ball, coming up down the right side. Getting inside the 30. And they possess the ball behind Smith. Looks like DelVal is getting a little bit more aggressive playing defense in that backside there. We're getting under a minute left here in this third quarter. DelVal is going to have to be a bit more aggressive coming up on the Spartans and try and force their hand on some shots or turnovers. Pollock over to Sanford to Smith. Smith running the backside over to Sanford. Sanford open shot from the right side. Sends it across as a pass. Good ball movement by the Spartans so far. Throwing it around pretty well. Have not found an attack to the middle yet. No, nothing going on that cutter up the middle just yet. Hayden. Back on top. Officials timeout there for a second. Looks like there was too many men in the fields on the offensive side there. Ball's going to be side right for the Spartans. 7 seconds left to go, so looks like they're going to try to have something going on here. And correction, nothing will go on there. As we reach the end of the third quarter, 14-3 Spartans lead. We will take you back here live for the start of the fourth quarter momentarily here on UCTV, presented by Unitas Caritas. We're going to welcome you back here live to the start of the fourth quarter. Immaculata leads 14-3. And Immaculata on the offensive possession. Going to swing that one around top of the key a little bit. Hayden on over. Hayden sends that into Sanford. And a nice goal from the side angle. Let's take a look at that one once again. Hayden with a little bit of a misdirection pass, and Sanford just fires that one and shoots that one into the top shelf, top right corner. Extends this to a 12-goal lead for the Spartans. 11 minutes and 42 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. DelVal has just not had an answer for the offensive scoring prowess of Immaculata so far. It'll be interesting to see what DelVal does in the final quarter of this match. Obviously, there is no lead that is necessarily insurmountable when you have time of this amount left, but there's just clear signs and indications that there has not been anything of that regard so far. But DelVal can get started with this offensive run, coming down, getting inside the 30. Sends it on over to the right side. Over to the back, Immaculata, suffocating them in every angle. They're not going to let them get anywhere close to that net. DelVal's going to really need to look to get inside, get some off-ball screens, and find a little bit of a run to get a shot off. Because the on-ball defense for the Spartans has been quite exemplary so far in this contest. Ball dropped on the ground for DelVal. They're going to keep that one up once again. Back out near the 30-yard line. Trying to snake up the left side. Nothing to come of it. Running towards midfield. Gets a quick shot. Look inside. Good spin move. Shot across. And throws that one in the top right corner. Nice little shot there. We'll take a look at that one once again. Good spin move. Fantastic camera angle. Beautiful right on that shot. That was number 21 for DelVal, Jack Reinerson, the freshman attacker for DelVal. So DelVal cuts it down to 11-goal game. 10 minutes and 14 seconds left. And Patrick is just angling to be told him what that camera angle was shot by, and it was shot by none other than him. So, give a shout out to our very own Patrick for that one. $11-goal game for Spartan so far. 15-4. We've got 9 minutes and 30 seconds counting. Got a little bit of a running clock now at this stage of the contest. So just to inform you folks of that. And DelVal is going to take on over the offensive possession there. DelVal running across the backside. And Head gets displaced for DelVal. And he's going to have to find himself off the field there. Number 21, Jack Reinerson, that just scored that goal, is having a little bit of a stick issue. So he's going to take a seat for a moment and probably come back in momentarily. DelVal running behind the net once again, circling it around. DelVal obviously wanting to cut this lead as much as they can. Holding good offensive control in this fourth quarter. So we'll see what they're able to get done in this next offensive possession. Shoots that one across. Running it around. I'm going to send that one over the backside. Nothing to come of it just yet. Center field once again. DelVal hasn't found as much success getting to the interior of the goal just yet. And play's going to resume. Immaculata's going to come down on the offensive. Gets that one right across the 40-yard line. And being brought up. Looks like at this stage in the contest, we're getting some new faces in for the Spartans. So we'll call them as we see them. Cole Hayden is still in alongside Nolan Smith. And Owen Sanford, who's running the top side, and holding it up now is Ryan Prisco. We've seen them so far in this contest. Good defense by the defenseman of DelVal. They're going to take on over. And as we get into the DelVal offensive possession, you're going to see a new face in net for the Spartans. It could be number 36, Devlin Gaither, sophomore for Immaculata. So, and Gaither comes in and immediately makes a good impact and makes a good goal-handed save. Immaculata taking it across midfield, right across their bench. Brings it on over to midfield, sends it up top to Hayden. Hayden sends it down behind to Smith. And they're just going to run it on around. Pollock playing it. And over to number 10, another familiar face here at UCTV, Mitch Carr. Keeping the same name, Money Mitch Carr, on the field for the Spartans. One of the UCTV favorites of Immaculata. So, a lot of new and familiar faces here on UCTV here at the Immaculata boys lacrosse game. So, always good to see Spartan athletes in multiple sports and contributing faithfully to their teams. So, Pollock at the top being guarded. He's going to run that one back out to midfield. Just about 5 minutes left to go in the game. Immaculata holds a 15-4 lead. Mitch Carr takes it up top. Passes up top to Pollock. Over to Hayden. Hayden looks to drive in, sends it across the middle. Good pass on over. Tries a little behind the back, nothing. Carr scoops it back up. Over to Pollock once again. Sanford. Sends it out behind the net to Smith. Smith driving in close to net. Sends it back out to Sanford. Sanford looking. Up top to Hayden. Hayden kicks it to Carr. Carr with a wide shot. And Money Mitch Carr puts it in the top left of the goal. We'll take a look at that one once again. Great shot there by the sophomore Mitch Carr. As Immaculata extends to a 16-4 lead, and the Immaculata bench is elated for Mitch. Just a fantastic showing for Immaculata so far in this contest. Just have done everything right between the offensive and the defensive side. And also, part of our great camera shots have been provided by some of our very own current Spartan students as well. We have freshman Serafina Rosati on the camera as well, currently displaying this camera angle right now. So always appreciative of all the help we get over at UCTV and Unitas Caritas. And, always special thanks to the Spartan students, both on and off the field, and all the contributive work that they do to promote and elevate the capacity of the school. So, 3 minutes left here in the game. 16-4 Spartans lead. DelVal is going to take on another offensive possession once again. DelVal trying to find some space behind the back of the net. And we have an official's whistle. We'll listen in. And Immaculata looks like it's going to hold offensive possession here, taking it in behind their net. Gaither's the goalie looking around. Passes it on over. And Immaculata starting up a set again. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left. Immaculata sends the one over back into midfield. They're going to take it down the right side. Passes it up through the backside between Sanford and Smith once again. Cole Hayden over to Smith and back to Sanford. Sanford sends it on over to the top area. One minute and 40 seconds left to go. This one is pretty much all but over at this point. But DelVal has some chance to bring some pride and life to them as they're on an offensive possession. Swings that one across to the middle. Right around center line. Kicks that in over around the 25-yard line. Coming down the right side. Sends that one back out. And they're going to reset. Takes that ball at center way. Right around midfield once again. Streaking down the right side. Tries to find some space to come in. DelVal has not been able to do so on that so far. That ball is loose on the ground, rolling out over towards the DelVal bench. And it will be out on them. Immaculata is going to take over. We got about 45 seconds left to go. We'll see if Immaculata has got one more in them. About 25 seconds left. Immaculata, ball on the ground. Still in the DelVal territory. DelVal coming across on an offensive possession. About 10 seconds left. They'll see if they can get one more shot in. Coming across. And it is blocked there by Gaither. He's going to take it out behind net. It's going to throw it across. Looks like that's going to be the end of the contest. Immaculata 16, DelVal 4. We have our final here at Theo Riddick Field at Immaculata High School. We'll be back with you momentarily for our player of the game.
I'm here with the UCTV Player of the Game, first lacrosse game we've done, Owen Stanford. Owen, play attacking. Today you guys were patient with your attack. A lot of assists and a lot of goals. How did you get it done?
It's basically all with my teammates over here. They play ball movement, just moving the ball pretty well and getting it done.
And your defense held a tight line. They were able to stop the attack and let you guys capitalize on transition. How did they play today?
They played great. Kyle Hopi did amazing. Defense, Frankie did amazing as well.
Awesome. Well, you got your whole team behind you. Good win today. Let's go, Spartans. Let's go.
Well, look at that. A dog pile after today's game. 16-4 is your final. A fantastic win for the Spartans and our player of the game, Owen Sanford with Patrick Frauenheim. Well, that's going to do it here from the Spartan sideline. It is 16-4. Final. Immaculata improves to 3-2 on the season. DelVal captures their first loss of the season at 2-1. So thank you for tuning in to UCTV presented by Unitas Caritas. I'm Jacob Schmidt alongside my partners, Patrick Frauenheim, Rod Hellwig, and Serafina Rosati for today. And we're just going to give a quick shout out one more time to the Immaculata Hall of Fame dinner that we will be broadcasting to you tomorrow at 6 p.m. So as always, you can check us out at the live stream, www.spartanlivestream.com. We'll take care of all that. We appreciate you once again for joining us here on UCTV, presented by Unitas Caritas.